First and foremost, I want to say good morning to everyone and thanks for all that came out. But I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for being here today. And before I begin, I'd like to also thank my wonderful family who surrounded me with my family, my friends, and all my longtime supporters. Your support and presence means the world to me, and I will forever be my inspiration. So now let's get to what we came here to do today. So again, good morning. I am here today to announce my candidacy for the mayor of the city of North Charleston. With my experience as county council chairman for 8 years and a member of county council for 19 years, I come to you prepared and ready to lead the city of North Charleston and its citizens on day one. Over the last decade, we have experienced tremendous growth in business, locating here in North Charleston, creating hundreds of new jobs, good paying jobs. And as the next mayor, I look to continue creating success in the state's third largest city, which is North Charleston. As chairman of county council, I was instrumental in negotiating with businesses and political stakeholders and creating one of the most significant economic developments in the county. The investment by Boeing, I worked tirelessly with stakeholders such as Governor Nikki Haley, U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott, South Carolina Senate's Finance Chairman, the late Hugh Leatherman, and members of the House and Senate delegation. In addition to Boeing, the county was able to lure prominent aerospace companies that service Boeing, such as Senior, Eaton, and Pacific Rim. Under my leadership, 38 major companies set up operation in the county, including Cummins Turbo Technologies, Daimler Chrysler, now Mercedes, Midwest Vaco Specialty Chemical, known as Ingevity, and Street USA Armory. The investment by these corporations totaled $2.7 billion and created 10,834 jobs. One of my first acts when I became chairman was to craft a diversity policy to promote equity, equality, and inclusion within council's workforce. As a result, procurement for minorities rose from 3% to 18%. The portion of African Americans who made more than $50,000 a year rose from 7.4% to 30%. And the number of African Americans who headed departments rose by 250%. When council allowed contributions from outside agencies to assist individual communities, contributions to African American organizations rose from $13,000 to $150,000 per year. African American businesses also began procuring million-dollar contracts. A yearly summer youth program was put into motion where up to 100 high school and college students receive employment at no cost to the taxpayers. While as chairman, I led the county's financial team to New York to meet with bond rating agencies such as Standard & Poor's, Moody, and Fitch to revisit the county's credit rating. The venue was a great success as the rating rose from AA to AAA. It was the first such rating in the county's history. The new rating allowed council to immediately refinance the county's bonds at the lowest of interest rates, resulting in a saving of $6 million for the taxpayers. As your mayor of North Charleston, one of my goals will be taking care of our elderly. I pledge to build a senior center on the city's south end for seniors that provides transportation to and from it. I will also explore the opportunity to give our seniors free transportation to places in North Charleston like grocery stores and medical buildings. These steps will greatly improve the quality of life for our seniors. We know that homicide and other violent crimes devastate cities in human and economic terms. As mayor, I pledge to commit to save lives by stopping violence. I will create a plan to engage key stakeholders focused on the highest risk people and places. I will work directly with our police department to develop and implement the focus on preventing violence, not just making arrests, and on working with citizens and community partners. Violent crime is a deadly serious challenge, but it is also a solvable challenge. I pledge to tackle it head on. To quote our 26th President of the United States of America, Teddy Roosevelt, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives vigilantly, who errs and comes up short again and again. Because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, but who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause. Who at the best knows, in the end, the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly. So that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. I ask that you join me in my quest to continue progress for all citizens of the city of North Charleston. And I'm Teddie Pryor. I'm a proven leader, an experienced leader, and a candidate for the mayor of North Charleston. Yeah. Again, I would like to thank all my family and friends who thought it not robbery to take time out of their busy schedule to come here for this very important announcement. The city is at a turning point, and I just believe and I know I'm the right person to keep it rolling. So, experience does matter. So, at this time, I will open up for questions, for a few questions to the media if you have any.
What do you think the biggest issue is that North Charleston currently faces, and how do you plan to address that issue if you are elected mayor?
Well, infrastructure is one of the biggest, but I think the biggest we are going to be facing is the revitalization of the old Navy Yard. You know, you're looking at almost a $2 billion project, and we want everybody to be included, and we want it done to where it could be the best in the country. You know, we have infrastructure that's coming from Somerville through North Charleston all the way downtown to the Medical University of South Carolina, which is called the bus rapid system. That has to be a success, because with a lot of people moving out and moving far away that doesn't have transportation, that will allow them to have transportation to and from work. And so affordable housing is another issue. Here at the county, we are working on affordable housing, and we have done great things with affordable housing, and as your mayor, I'd like to do even more.
What was the defining moment, Teddy, that you decided that you wanted to run for mayor? Was it because Mayor Summey decided he wasn't going to seek another term?
Well, that's one of the reasons why, but I think the timing is right, and the mayor's stepping out with 30 years of experience, and so you need somebody with experience who can move right in, not have to be trained on the job or go day to day. You need somebody who can move right in, and you got to remember, a lot of the important department heads are probably leaving with the mayor, so you need somebody who can fill that void and keep it going without missing a beat.
You know, crime, you talked about homicides and crime being a big issue. What are some of the specific things you want to see happening that aren't necessarily happening right now?
Well, I would like to see us work with our General Assembly and our local delegation with these bond hearings and make it more tough for these repeat offenders to come out on bond and commit violent crimes. You know, we also must, you know, take a look at, you know, some of our laws that allow these folks to be out here when they should be in. The magistrates, I know, probably bind by certain legislation, but I would like to work with our delegation. We have Representative Wendell Gilliard here, you know, to make sure that once these violent offenders get in, there is no bail if they have done it before.
Teddy, if you were elected mayor, would you be open to election reform in North Charleston? Because as of right now, there is no runoffs for North Charleston mayor or council.
Well, that'd have to be up for discussion for the mayor and all of council, and I think some of that's on discussion now. But you know, the system has been working for, you know, 50 years, so if it ain't broke, you don't want to fix it. But that's something I'd be glad to take a look at and see.
What do you think differentiates you from the other candidates like Police Chief Reggie Burgess and others?
Well, I'm not here to talk about the other candidates. I'm here to talk about me and a proven track record. I mean, if you Google me or you look at me, that's what sets me off in the rest. Okay, experience does matter, and you wouldn't invest, $100 million of your money with someone who's not an investor. So I wouldn't want to take a chance on investing $200 million of the city's money with someone who's never ran a government. And so experience does matter, and if you take a look, I think everybody has a copy of this. This is facts, not fiction, but you have it. This is facts. So proven leadership and experience.
Amen. Yay!
So Teddie, with all that being said, there's some people that might be worried that the black vote might be split between you and Reggie because of entering this thing. What do you have to say to that?
Well, that's up to the voter. You give them your platform, you give them the information. And if I give you a clean glass of water and a dirty glass of water, 100% of the time you will drink the clean water. So, it's getting the information out and getting the people. Remember, this is not a popularity contest. This is not seen superlative. This is the third largest city in the state, soon to become the #1 city in the state in another 4 to 5 years. And so that's why I'm running, because I want to make sure we get everything we can, everything we need. So when people go out and look, remember, this is not a popularity contest. This is about a proven record, proven experience, and who can get in and get the job done. Yeah. And let me say this too. I'm not only going for black, I'm going for everybody vote. So I'm going to be everybody's mayor. You see, we have Hispanic, black, white, so we all here. And I work across the aisle with all type of people. That's one of the things that I'm known for. When it comes to doing the right thing for the people, there's no party. They're just doing what's right. If you have a heart attack, you don't care whether the doctor is a Republican or a Democrat, you just want service.
So, Teddie, once you get into it, what's the first thing you would do should you be elected mayor?
Well, the first thing I would do is meet the staff and find out what's going on as far as what we need to go and what we need to do, and go from there. But you want to meet with your senior staff, and you want to figure out what we need to do to turn things and move it in a different direction and make it right. Okay?
Are there some specific areas in North Charleston with the way things are being run now that you think that need to take a different direction?
Well, the southern end of the city, needs to have more put into it, and that's going to be, one of my key issues is trying to redevelop the southern end. Some things are happening down there now, but we can always do more. Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you to news media. See you on the campaign trail.
All right. That was good.